All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the weekly I Fired Myself, How to Become an Entrepreneur strategy call. My name is Scott Armstrong. And yeah, so I think at this point we should be posting these on the YouTubes and whatnot. So I hopped on the movie, or hopped on the stream a little bit early today just to chat with you guys and just give an update about everything going on. I don't know who's going to show up today. I've put a few invites out there, so we'll see who trickles in. I had a couple people, a couple of the regulars tell me that they're not going to be able to make it today and that they're very sad that they couldn't make it today, which it is. It is what it is. That's good. You're out there crushing. And so this community's here to get you to the level where you're crushing so hard you don't need this community anymore. Okay? So there you go. If you're watching this on YouTube, come join us. Click the link below, join the school community, come pop in. This meeting is every Saturday morning and it's free. Come hang out, okay? If you have questions about business or anything, just come talk to me. You can literally just come talk to me every Saturday morning for free. Got to join the community. It's free to join. There are some perks. I did like a 10-hour sales course in there of everything that I've learned and been implementing in my business when it comes to sales. And it's just unbelievably valuable information. So, you got to pay to play for that. But it's a really good deal. It's like 27 bucks a month for all the course material. Or you can do 99 bucks for a full year. Like now, that's what Hormozy calls an offer, a grand slam offer, an offer so good you feel bad saying no to. Okay, so there you go. Yeah, man, it just kind of been reflecting on life and this journey. You know what I mean? It's like when I started as a podcaster to where I'm at today, it's just so crazy. And also, I apologize because sweating profusely. I went on a jog this morning and I'm feeling pretty good. Got 4 miles, baby. I've been doing 4 miles a day. But yeah, so where I started to where I'm at today, dude, it's just been a journey, man. And that's what I'm saying. It's like whenever it's a good example of like wherever you're at in your journey when it comes to entrepreneurship or whatever passion you're working towards. The important thing is just to start. You never know where you're going to end up or where the road's going to take you, but the most important thing is to just start, bro. When I started my very first podcast, we were talking about the third tower, Tower 7, that collapsed on 9/11. Because to me, that is the most important crux of everything. Like in order to become a good business person and to be ethical and moral and to really thrive in this world, you have to understand that there are forces of evil out there. And the best way to wake people up to that, in my opinion, is to let them know, hey, did you know a third tower fell on 9/11? So anyway, my journey started with talking about the Solomon Brothers building, World Trade Center Tower 7, and here we are today talking about entrepreneurship. And so it's it's amazing. I love it. But yeah, so yeah, it's been crazy because yeah, I've been doing 4 miles a day because, dude, I put on like 25 pounds, dude, over the last like 8, 9 months. And it's kind of funny. I think I've I've talked about this a little bit on the air. Well, I got in a relationship. Actually, you saw this. I'm engaged, boys. I'm engaged, boys. That's right. Your boy here is getting hitched to a beautiful, amazing, unvaccinated, just unbelievably gorgeous, unbelievably awesome gal. And I'm the luckiest guy in the world. I'm so grateful. Finally found her. And so there's hope for all of you out there. So I sadly did not meet on Unjected. We met in real life, but it's like at the same time, I am a very, very lucky man. But over the course of us being together over the last 10 months, I kind of let things slip a little bit. It's like, healthy relationship weight, I think she says that it's called. So, but also at the same time, it was really crazy. So, the very first week, I hard launched Free Frame Studios on January 1st. Like I did tons of work all the way through 2025, like building out a portfolio, doing all the business stuff and getting all the social media in place, getting the LLC, like all this. I did tons of preliminary work, but I did the hard launch January 1st, 2026. But and then that week, I think it was like January 7th or 8th or something like that, there was this big ice storm that hit Nashville and we were out of power for I was without power for like 8 days, something like that, 8 or 9 days. Anyway, the first day of the ice storm, it came down so hard. It was so crazy. I woke up to just pure pandemonium. Like my one neighbor's house or not neighbor, but one of my really good friends' house burned down. Like some sort of like electrical short happened and the house caught on fire. And then my immediate next door neighbor, a branch had fallen off a tree and went through her roof, like into her kitchen. Like one of the branches had punctured down into the damn kitchen, and the like water was just pouring inside. Like her house just got completely ruined. And of course, people know me as like the neighborhood handyman guy. So they were pounding on my door that morning to try and see if there was anything I could do. And I took a look at it and I'm like, okay, well, I climbed up on a roof with my sawzall and I cut back the branch and pulled it off and I put a tarp over the hole. Did some like emergency, just kind of just immediately just like patching the situation. And then, like the next week, oh yeah, here we go. Jim's here. Now it's about to get good, boys, ladies and gentlemen. What's up? What's up, Jim? Jim the
Hey,
boss.
how's it going, man?
It's good, man. How are you?
Having a surprisingly good week.
Good, dude. Okay, well, I can't wait to hear about it. I cannot wait to hear about it. Let me see. I'm trying to see your audio's a little low. I don't know if that's my end or your end.
Could be my end. I've got these stupid wireless earbuds in my ears, so
You know what's weird though is that like my volume oh no, wrong volume. Hold on. Go ahead. Say something again.
testing one, two, three,
You're good.
testing
You're
one,
good.
two,
It
three.
was me. It was me. I was adjusting the wrong knob. I'm moving my
Awesome.
what I thought was my volume knob up and down, and nothing was happening. I'm like, oh, that's the wrong knob. There we go. Okay, we're good now.
Cool.
My bad. So, as you know, I'm kind of like, uh, packaging these up to put on YouTube again, right? So I have not
Yeah.
done that yet, but I really plan on doing that today. I'm planning on doing the first one today, which was the meeting we did 2 weeks ago, which was super awesome. And so anyway, so I kind of started the meeting early, and I've kind of been doing my spiel, and I was right in the middle of just finishing up this story. And I think you'll appreciate it, and then I really want to hear about your week. So
Cool.
basically, I was talking about how I hard launched my Free Frame Studios marketing business like July or January 1st this year, right? And so I'd done a lot of work up until January 1st, but I was like, okay, but officially today, here's the day, start date. So day one, we're going in. And then like the following week, it was like January 9th, 8th or 9th or something like that. It was the ice storm that hit, and like, I was out of power. But then I was like, the whole neighborhood fell apart. I don't know if you've heard me tell this story, but that like
No.
I had to climb up on my neighbor's roof because like a branch like went through her house, like through into the living room. And so that morning, I'm kind of like the neighborhood handyman guy. So like they were pounding on my door first thing, like, Scott, is there anything you can do to help? I'm like, oh my God, okay. So I crawled up on the roof and like used my sawzall, cut back the branch, dropped it, threw a tarp over the hole. And of course, that was like, the hero of the day, which is great. But somehow, I don't know what happened. Later that night or a couple days later, I developed this like inguinal hernia, dude. So I have this hernia
Oh,
situation that I've been dealing with, and I don't know what it was. It was like I feel like I don't know if I overexerted myself that day or if it was just it was gonna happen regardless. But it was like the whole point I'm trying to make is that like in the entrepreneur world, it's like okay, I'm gonna hard launch this business, okay, and it's like. And then it's like boom, now you got to, and I've literally been dealing with this for like 8 months now. And it's like I'm trying to figure out what to do. I'm probably gonna end up having to have surgery, honestly.
right.
So anyway,
And that was from like a volunteer gig helping out neighbors.
something I don't know if I necessarily blame. I don't know if that was the cause, but I feel it was like exactly the same day. It was like that night or the next day I noticed this hernia situation, and I don't know if it was just stress or whatever, dude. I don't know. I'm not even gonna blame that. I'm just painting a picture of what this time in my life was like, and then I was without power
Right.
for 8 days, right, dealing with the hernia and all this stuff. And in my mind, I was like, it took me a minute to get this realization, but at first I was like, this is bullshit. But then now where I'm at today with it is like I feel like, you know, God is like I feel God's presence in it because
Oh,
it's
nice.
like any mortal man can start a business, right? But you are going to do it with a hernia.
Right.
like it's like because I know you can do it, and I'm like, yes, give me the challenge. Like the challenge, I feel like this is a challenge. It's like okay, it's like yeah, any dude could just start a business, but you are gonna do it this way, and I'm like, okay, yes, give me that. So it's like it's like this. I don't know. I feel like empowered by it. So anyway,
Nice.
interesting story. So I was just riffing on that a little bit, just telling people about this entrepreneur. I was reflecting on my journey as a podcaster from like my first episode. We were talking about Tower Seven, World Trade Center Tower Seven, and then here we are today
Hmm.
talking about all this other stuff. So it's fun, and the point being is like regardless of what it is you're starting, folks, if it's a business or a podcast or a music album or anything like that, like the most important thing is just to start. Like you never know where the road's going to take you. I never could have anticipated this where I'm at today, but I would not be here today if I had not taken those first initial steps. So it's just like you just got to go and let the journey
Exactly. And
take.
we have no idea why the obstacles that are put in our way
No,
are put there.
Exactly.
And but we just have to, I mean, I've oscillated back and forth. I mean, there are times where I feel very centered and very the word I've been using is surrender. Like you're surrendering to the will of God or the universe or however you want to. Like
Sure.
there's some reason for it to happen. It's not always just shit happens. It's like there's a reason behind it, but from our small limited vantage point, we can't see what that is.
Yep.
But and I oscillate back and forth between like I'm in this trusting place. I know the challenges that I've had have come to me for a reason, and therefore I shouldn't fret about them. You know, Shakespeare said we strut and fret our hours on the stage and then we depart, you know. And but what I found out, because I've been fretting a lot recently, and because I've not been in that connected place, and it's trying to get back to that place of remembering that yes, this is happening for a reason. My wife said something to me this week. She's like, "You remember what when Steve Jobs said at that Stanford graduation speech, 20 years ago, you can't connect the dots forward. You can only connect them backward, So in a year, I'll be like, oh, that's why that trial came up, or oh, that's why, who knows? Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. And it's a powerful place to be. Like I just operate from pure faith, dude. I'm just like, I know as long as I'm doing the right thing and I'm holding up my end of the bargain, it's all gonna work out. You know what I mean? And even
right,
if the worst conceivable possible thing happens, there's still a reason for it and a way out or whatever, right? It's like
right,
I look at it like, okay, there's a couple things I could relate to like recovery type stuff. So I can, for me, I'm just like, no, there's just absolutely no reason I will ever use a substance ever again. I just can't do it. And I've seen in my recovery community, there's two cases. Like one of them, because that's one of the things in the recovery community where it's like a lot of people we call them reservations. Like, okay, well, let's say if this were to happen, then that's a perfect excuse for me to go back to drinking or whatever, right? It's like people have to be very wary or be cognizant of what their potential, reservations are. And it's like the big ones that like if I'm sponsoring a guy, like we list out our reservations. And one of the big ones that always comes up is like, well, like if one of my kids died, I don't know if I'd be able to stay sober through that. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, let's write
right,
that down. Let's write that down. And that's part of the assignment. It's like we have to identify every single possible situation, and that's like the big ones. Like, of course, if you lose a child, what would you like? Is it possible to stay sober? It's like you have to stay sober, right? And it's like
right.
seen situations where there was two situations in my recovery where I witnessed this happen. Where one, a gal who was like kind of the matriarch of like the recovery community. She had like 35 years, something like that. But she was also part of this like clean and sober motorcycle gang, and they were all a bunch of awesome people. This lady was just such a legend, so inspiring. Probably sponsored half the women in our recovery community, and like she one day she was killed on a motorcycle accident when they were all riding.
Oh,
And it was like the
oh,
craziest way she died too. It's like they were all riding together, her with all of her friends, and like a turkey was crossing the street and a semi
no
truck
way.
going the opposite way hit the turkey and flew and knocked her off her motorcycle and killed her. And it's just like that's that right there. That's just like and I got to witness and watch firsthand like how and all those people who got sober together, they'd all been sober for 30 years together. You know what I mean? Like just how they came together as a community and got through it and nobody relapsed over it. So I got
Right.
to witness what that looked like over the course of the next like couple years. And then one of my good friends out in Oregon, this is before I got sober, but he told me all the time, one of his kids drowned while he was sober. Like in
Oh,
recovery too. There was an accident and one of his kids drowned, and he talked a lot about how he was able to get through the loss of a child and still stay sober. And for me, it's just like that really ingrained in me, both of those instances where it's like there's literally no excuse or reason why you'd ever have to get loaded over tragedy or something like that. So, and also to that end, the whole point of what I'm trying to say is like just even the most horrific tragedy ever. Yeah, it seems unfair and it's terrible, but it's like there's something there that's outside of my control that I'll never understand, but it is what it is. And so
right.
anyway, so that's what I'm saying with business too. It's like, dude, oh my God. And then of course I was listening to some Hormozy this morning. He's like, yeah, a lot of business owners just I can't remember how he said it. He's just like a lot of business owners just like they just like look at entrepreneurship as an excuse to fail. Like it's like we would talk about how it's good to fail and fail quickly. It's like, well, a lot of entrepreneurs just look at it as an excuse to fail. And I'm like, oh, dude, you're just killing me every time. So, but it's just genius. I haven't finished the podcast. I don't know what his point was, but it's like, yeah, don't try to fail, but like it's okay.
Right.
But if you do, then it's like you gotta double down. But anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, let's
What
hit
lesson can you
it.
learn from it and to move on?
Yeah, exactly. So let's hear about your week. What is going on?
Well, we put an offer in on a house and got it accepted.
Okay, cool. Where's that at?
So
Well, I guess I don't know if you can
uh,
say publicly, but yeah. But yeah,
that's us. We live in Harrison, Arkansas. So
okay, cool.
we live outside of Harrison, Arkansas now, and we're actually moving into town.
Okay,
So
cool.
I think I'd shared with you. It's kind of interesting because we were part of the whole migration out into the country that happened as a result of
Yeah.
COVID. My wife got really into John Bush's whole
Yep.
exit and build philosophy,
Yep.
and that was our idea. We left Hawaii and we came here, and we had some pretty grandiose ideas for what we were going to do. And having not grown up farming or homesteading or anything like that, I really had no idea like how much is involved
Oh
with
gosh,
it.
yeah.
And so we came out here. We got some chickens. We got some rabbits. We got our eggs. We bred the rabbits. It was all good. But we've got 18 acres. It's a lot to take care of. I don't have the expertise in managing that much land or the equipment. The idea was is that I was going to come out here and learn how to do all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think what I've learned about myself is that um, as nice of an idea of it is, it takes an awful lot to be self-sufficient. I mean,
Oh
we've
yeah.
well, since we've been in Arkansas, we've met some other people like ourselves who moved here from elsewhere and bought these homesteads. I'm thinking of one guy out in particular near like Lead Hill, Arkansas, which is about an hour from here. And he had a great homestead going, but it was all he did. Like he stopped working and like he
Yeah.
was spending all of his time with his chickens and he's got hogs and he's got goats and sheep. And I'm like, that's cool. But I mean, I've been running my business for 20 years and starting another one. And I'm like, it takes so much time and effort. And what I've kind of learned over the last few years is that I have much greater aspirations in life than to just produce my own food.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
And I'm
totally.
sure, I mean, and I know guys, other people that also left, the West Coast or wherever and came here and have started successful homesteads. And Beth and I were talking about it yesterday, the difference between them and me, the two guys I'm thinking of in particular have high paying tech jobs that they can do remotely, but
Yeah,
they're working for other people. They're
exactly.
working for other people, you know. And if I had a job that I didn't have to worry about like making the work
Yep.
and then doing the work and then billing for the work, that would be one thing. But since I'm responsible for all those pieces, if I stop trying to bring work in, then I don't have any work. If I don't, I mean, we went up to Branson, Missouri yesterday and went to a water slide park. And like all the hour drive up there and an hour drive back, I was doing my QuickBooks in the passenger seat.
Wow,
You
there.
know,
Yep.
we met another family up there, and the mom's like, "Boy, Jim, do you and Beth ever stop?" I'm like, "No, we kind of don't because there's always something to do. We squeeze, the value out of every possible minute." And I'm like, maybe if I had a job where I wasn't responsible for all those parts, I would have, been more successful with my homestead as well. But what we've decided is just to move into town, into a place where we don't have the acreage, we don't have the animals, we don't have that responsibility. That way we can just focus 100% on our businesses. And once we've got them up and running and thriving, then we'll see what happens in
Yep.
5 years. So
Exactly.
we were
Well,
also we were also homeschooling, and we're not homeschooling anymore, and so we're moving 2 minutes from my daughter's new charter school.
okay,
And
cool.
yeah. One of the things that really hit me, I was talking to Claude about the possibility of our move, and Beth and I were spending 2 hours a day every day driving our daughter into town to school and then picking her up. And Claude said, "Jim, do you realize that over the course of a school year, that all of that driving, just 2 hours a day, is the equivalent of 12 40-hour work weeks?"
Wow. Yep.
I'm like, I hadn't
Yeah.
thought it. I'm like, dang, it really adds up. I'm like, how much could we accomplish in that time? That would be much more beneficial and help to build what it is we're trying to do rather than just sitting in the every day, you know?
Yep. 100%, man. It's like and on that like time management, that's a big one. I'm finding too myself because I struggle with a lot of the same things too, where it's like, okay, well, there's a couple different ways to go with this. Like for one, yes, I try to probably take on too much myself. And one of my business partner on
You.
on the sauna thing. Yeah, no, it's true. But I'm starting to see like one of my business partner on the sauna thing. I'm seeing in him aspects of myself, and I'm trying to tell him, bro, we got to do it this way. And I'm like, I'm not necessarily doing it all the way myself either. It's like I see because he's got his carpentry business and we're trying to do this sauna thing. And I keep saying, like, well, we were already putting pieces in place to do this, to institute this, where we're not doing the work. We're not doing the work. We're putting together crews, and we're actually putting together, we're working on relationships with these vendors that'll actually pre-build the materials for us and ship them to us. If we give them like architectural drawings, they can actually pre-cut the materials and send them to us, and we just go in and install it. So that's huge. So we're
Cool.
working on
Oh, that's
that. But
nice.
yeah, so that's going to be huge. But I see him just spinning his wheels, staying up till 4 in the morning, like spray painting cabinets. And I'm like, we have to be the operators, not the doers. And then in my
Right.
business, I'm over here just like doing everything myself. But I'm taking my first step away from that this week where I did find an editor that was recommended to me that I'm very excited about. So, and it's a offshore editing team, but he said he's been
Oh,
working with them
cool.
2 years and super affordable. And so I'll have more information about that for you guys. So it's like that's the first thing I'm getting off my plate is editing. So I'm gonna get rid of that.
That's great.
That's
And yeah,
huge.
after our call last week, I got super excited about what's her name, the pancake lady.
The pancake lady, dude, Judy. Judy's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Judy's pancakes. I spent a good chunk of the afternoon just researching her thing, and I like talked to Claude and said, I want you to analyze her channel and how does she structure her videos and how she,
Yeah.
thinking that we might be able to do something like that. And I'm
That's
very excited about that. I'm very excited about the idea of promoting our business via YouTube, but I think the next month is just going to be we are supposed to be closing on our house about a month from tomorrow, and so I think the next
okay.
month is going to be prepping to move and then moving. It's kind of funny because as Beth and I were doing all of our business plannings, we said, okay, the one thing we're not going to do until we get the business launched is we're not going to move. We're gonna we're gonna launch the business first, and then we're gonna
Yeah.
move.
Yeah.
And it just didn't happen that way. And I think it's ultimately going to be a benefit to us because this property that we have is taking up so much mental space up here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's yeah,
I think
I
it's a
think
good
it's going
move.
to be a huge improvement.
I
Mhm.
think so too,
Huge
man. It's
improvement.
I think you did the right thing. I think in 2020 the move was to get out of the city because who knows what was going to happen. Like I was really actually I kind of did the same thing too where I was living in the city in Eugene, Oregon, and then I ended up getting it was like in 2020 I found this rental place. It was just like a little tiny home that I rented at way out in the country, like 20 miles outside of Eugene. And so I kind of did the same thing. I didn't actually acquire land, but my mentality was I got to get out of the city because I didn't know what was coming down the line, especially in Oregon. It was psychotic. Well, Hawaii too.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, it was
Hawaii was the
psychotic,
same.
dude. It was
Yeah.
like we got to get out of here, man. Like I was literally thinking they were gonna start rounding us up in like box cars or something if we didn't wear them, something like that. Like I seriously thought it was going that direction. It felt like that anyway. So I think that was the move, 100%. I think like anybody that had the resources or the wherewithal to do so
Did.
that would have
Yeah.
been the move. They did, and that would have been the move, 100%. And it's interesting though, because like now that I live in Nashville, like I'm like 2 miles from downtown Nashville, um,
Mhm.
and it's like I live in a nice neighborhood, and there's everything's just right down the road, dude. It's convenient. It's just so,
Yeah.
and I'm like in the back of my mind, it's like of course like all my Bertaria friends are all homesteading and crushing, and it's like and I'm like, that I long for that, but at the same time, I'm just like, God, but I love kind of being in the city, and I love Nashville, dude. I love Nashville. Dude. It's
I
such a cool
bet.
city, dude. Anyway, but so I don't know what that tells me. But eventually, I want to get outside the city, of course, maybe.
Well, your path is
But
just different. I
yeah,
mean,
exactly.
you are so capable. I mean, I've been so impressed getting to know you through all of your podcasts and Grand Theft World and all that over the last few years. I feel like you've got an incredible contribution to make to the world. You're so
Thanks,
skilled in so
man.
many areas, and man, I think honestly, your skills lend your your purpose is higher than cleaning poop out of a chicken coop.
Maybe so, maybe so. Well, I'm here in the city trying to make some moves, that's for sure. But
There
it's
you
cool,
go.
man. Well, eventually we'll get there. Eventually we'll get there. That's the retirement plan, at least. But
Yeah,
well, how's business?
that's okay.
Got anything business wise on the horizon or anything fun going on?
I guess but wrapping up that last thing,
Oh
the
yeah,
funny thing that Beth and I were also
oh
talking
yeah,
about yesterday is like we were all inspired by John Bush to do
yes,
this, and then John like ended up selling his homestead and moving back into the city.
Nah. I think he
Because
drives a
I mean,
Tesla
he had to,
too. I think he drives a Tesla.
yeah, he got divorced. I mean, as
Uh,
I recall, I mean, and then it's like, well, man, all the best laid plans. Because I'm like, here's Mr. Exit and Build
yeah.
having
I
to
know.
exit his homestead and get back in just because life threw him a curveball that he didn't
Yep.
anticipate, kind of like you and your back and whatnot.
Yep.
Um, I didn't have a whole ton of time to focus on. It was a I did a lot with my IT business this week, considering that I took Monday off and Friday off to do things with my family. I had a very good IT business week. I did one sales call this week
Cool.
for my estate business. It went well. She was a very nice lady in Tennessee, but she was unemployed. Strike one,
Okay.
and then
Yep.
strike two. Like usually when I'm dealing with couples with that, I was like, I want both the husband and the wife to have seen my webinar and
Yep.
to be on board. And she told me like, oh well, my husband, like I told him that I'm looking into this, but he hasn't read your book, he hasn't seen your webinar. So it was kind of like, okay, well, we're going to reconvene in a month. And we got to bring your husband up to speed because there's no way we can proceed unless he has any idea what you're doing and why you're doing it and thinks it's a good idea as well. So,
Yep. I mean, that's it. That's it. Like, I'm looking it up right now. I know Hormozy talks about that, like how your audience, and I've struggled with this too. When I first launched the free frame thing, I was reaching out, I was doing cold outreach and then ran some ads and talked to a couple people. And my mentality was like, oh, let's say they're just kind of like maybe not starting off, or they're just starting off, maybe they don't have a whole lot of resources. I can help them get to the next level. And I quickly realized, no, if they don't have resources, if they don't have a budget, if they don't have the means to even buy the services at all or get they have to be at a certain level to get to the next level. So it's like I met with this one guy
right.
and he was like a licensed electrician. What's up, Rome? I see Rome there. What's up, Rome? He's a licensed electrician, but like he was buying storage units, like storage auctions. And then he was
Oh,
like talking about how like he would like spend a week or two and he had to have his own storage unit to go store everything in and sort through it and sell it. I'm like, how much time are you spending on this? Like a week. He's like, oh, like it's like a full-time job. And I'm like, how much money are you making off of it? He's like, I don't know, a few $100 per storage unit. I'm like, bro, you're a licensed electrician. What are you even talking about, dude? And I was like, I don't know
seriously.
what it was. And he's like, well, I want to get back into doing this and this. I'm like, dude, just go do it and then like get back to me, okay, or whatever. Anyway, so I looked this up. So this is the it's called BANT, BANT. So when you're
Mhm.
looking for clients, they have to have budget, authority, need, and timing. So they have to have the budget to
Yes.
do it, right? They have to have the authority. Are you talking to the decision maker? And again, that comes down to like when you're dealing with couples. Of course, it's like, the classic excuse when you're on a sales call with somebody, they're like, "Oh, we got to go talk to my wife." So one of the ways I learned to pre-handle that is like just say, yeah, like you said. So first you said, here's the criteria to get on a call with me. It's like you got to watch the video, and then all the decision makers need to be in the call because I'm not gonna
Yep.
let you go. Oh, I have to go talk to my wife. I'm like, oh, I thought you said that you made all the decisions. I was like, all right, well, yeah. So then let's close. Let's do this, right? You know what I mean? So it's like, and then the need actually
Yep.
it has to actually be a problem that they're looking to have solved, and then the timing, like they're not trying to do it like 2 years from now, right? I'm getting a lot of that with the
Right.
sauna people, or with the sauna people, like, oh yeah, we're building the house in like a year or so, and we're just kind of getting ideas for pricing for saunas. I'm like, okay, well,
Yeah, and with the sales calls I've done the last few months, I've in my webinar, I say that both decision makers have to be there. Both of them have to have seen this video because I don't want to
yep,
spend our time on this call bringing them up to speed. And for the people who have actually followed my instructions, I've had closed like 85%. I
that's
mean, it's
great.
been
Yep,
really, really good. I
yep,
mean, I'm glad I got to talk to the lady yesterday. She has a genuine need, but I don't know if, her husband has no. I'm like, okay, well, you think he would sit and watch the video? She's like, oh, he doesn't really watch videos. I'm like, well, does he drive to work? Maybe he could download our audio book. Maybe it's only an hour and 15 minutes long. Maybe he could listen to that. Well, I don't know if he's going to do that. I'm like, hmm. It's,
Yep.
I don't know if this is going to happen or not. I mean, I do estate planning. Everyone's going to die. It's just whether people actually want to deal with it now, or if they want to deal with it, in 50 years, or just like, leave a mess for people. Because I mean,
Yep.
that's the other thing. That is an option for people, is to just not do anything and leave a mess for their family. But my hope is that I can inspire them to not do that. Do you
Yep.
love your family enough to not leave a giant legal mess?
Yep. Well, that's interesting because like with the Bant philosophy, need and timing, it's like that's like the highest level need possible because everyone is going to require that service at some point. And then, but
Yep.
the timing is the gap that might
Yep.
be something that might be something an interesting angle to focus in on like any sort of like marketing social media campaign. Is like the timing aspect is just like because that's
Yeah.
one of the biggest aspects where people, of course, people don't want to think about it. People rather just like out of sight, out of mind. But
Yeah, it's the tough part about my industry is like, I mean, there's some people who really, really don't want to think about it. I've
oh
even
yeah.
talked to some people who are like 85. They're like, I don't even want to deal with this. I'm like, you're 85. I
Yeah.
mean, like, at best case scenario, maybe you got 20 years left, but that would put you in like the, less than 1% category.
Oh
So,
yeah.
I,
Totally.
I get it. But for me, it's just so much like, it's like deal with it, get it off your plate, and then you don't have to think about it anymore. It's just like
Exactly.
rip off the band-aid, get it done, you know? And
Yep.
it's actually not that bad. It's like if you approach it from a way of like, boy, I'm doing this to help my spouse. I'm doing this to help my children. This is a wonderful gift that I'm giving to them, gift of peace and security, and yeah. But yeah, getting that through people's skulls sometimes is a little more challenging.
Totally awesome. Well, here, how about this? So yeah, this is gonna go out as a podcast. So give me your pitch. Give me your pitch so the audience can hear. Tell us about your business. Tell us what your business is. Like just use this as your opportunity to
All right.
engage with the audience here. Let us know. Maybe somebody listening can use what you're just
Very good. Well, hey, let me grab the prop here just a sec.
cool. There you go.
I'm gonna I'm
See?
gonna talk while I'm doing it.
See,
So
so if you're out there in
say,
YouTube land, Rome, I'll let you do it in just a sec too. Like I'm gonna say I'll let you. I'll have you. I'm gonna invite you to do it. So if you're out there watching the podcast, come join our Saturday morning calls. You might be able to pitch your business to a cold audience. Yeah, this is a
nice.
dead cold audience right here. So this is your
Oh, there we go.
to a cold audience. Maybe
So
not. Maybe that's the
so
bad
I
acronym. Okay, just so you guys know, the sales term. Somebody who's not familiar with you or your business, that's called a cold audience, and it's a bad analogy. It's a cold dead audience. No, it's not dead. They're not dead yet, but that we're gonna try and rectify that. So cold
They're
audience.
gonna be dead. It
They're
sounds
gonna
like
be
a bunch of
dead, and
people.
that's the whole point why we're having this conversation. But it's a cold audience. So give me your cold pick.
It's morbid.
Yeah.
nice. All right. Well, my business is called Family Shield Estate Planning, and I'll start by saying I am not a lawyer. I am a licensed life insurance and annuities agent who has the ability to help people create estate plans using estate planning software. And so I can't give legal advice, but if you have an estate that isn't horribly complex, it's something that I can very easily help you with. And I primarily work with families with children. That's one of my specialties and one of my passions. I'm also very easily able to work with older people, senior citizens. But for whatever reason, it's put it on, God's put it on my heart to work more with families with children. In that regard, we wrote a book called Who Would Raise Them? As that is the question that most parents haven't confronted. You go out and you have a whole bunch of kids, and you're so focused on your day to day. In particular, our audience, we focused more on homeschoolers. Homeschoolers are spending so much time every day, more so than people who don't homeschool, just raising their kids, educating them, just kind of trying to shape their minds and their hearts and whatnot. But most families spend so much time focusing on their day to day, but they aren't focused on the big picture. Like what would happen if one or both parents was out of the picture? And so that's something that we're trying to help parents confront. It's just I don't think it's not a comfortable process to go through, but but it doesn't have to be difficult. And so we wrote this book to help people confront it. We call our system the Family Shield System. And if you kind of see here, we've got these little wonderful graphics that my wife created with ChatGPT. The components of our family shield are the guardian, and those are the people that you would get to help to raise your children in the event that you are no longer there to do so. And we help guide people through finding appropriate guardians to help raise your kids. The next part of our family shield is what we call the structure. And the structure is the legal documents that you would put in place to make sure that your wishes are respected. And so that would be a will or a trust. And for the most part, with families with kids, it would be a trust because a trust has a lot more power to allow you to control how things are going to unfold for you. Like, so for example, if you've got a will, essentially the state's going to dump everything in your estate on your kids when they're 18. So if you don't want your kids inheriting everything that you've accumulated when they're 18 years old, you don't want to have a will. You'd want to have a trust because you'd be able to have control over when that, like, so for example, we've set it up so that our daughter will receive our estate when she's half at 25 and half at 35 years old, when she's older and wiser and more able to handle that. The next part of our family shield is what we call the provision. And this is where my life insurance license comes in, especially with my audience being homeschoolers. I've got families who have 3, 5, 10 children. And I'm like, for the most part, dad works, mom stays home with the kids. And I'm like, great, if something happens to you, how in the world are you going to be able to, if the father, the breadwinner dies, like, how is mom going to live? How is she going to support 10 kids? She's not working. She hasn't got a source of money. So we try to make sure that they've got themselves set up with their appropriate amount of provision so one or the other spouse can continue to raise the children and keep their family functioning, or if both parents die, that their guardians to be taken care of. So you're not burdening somebody else financially with them raising your children. The next part of our family shield is what we call sorry, totally. So we've got the guardian, we've got the structure, we've got the provision, we've got the blueprint is the next part. And the blueprint is the set of instructions that we suggest that people leave behind. Because again, especially with our homeschool audience, we people who homeschool put a lot of care and thought into how their kids are being raised, what they're being exposed to, how they're being educated, like food choices, health choices. It's just been my experience that homeschool families put more time and attention into that than most. And so, if indeed something were to happen to you, and if you want your children to be raised in the way that you have been raising them, we advocate for just leaving behind some really good, thorough instructions for how you would want your kids to be raised. Like I said, health and nutrition, spiritually, education, all of that. And the last little part of our family shield is in the center there, the heart. And the heart isn't about what happens after you've passed. The heart is your daily discipleship. It's how you're raising your kids now. It's how you're being present for them. Because what we found is that when you're planning for what would happen if you weren't here, uh, makes you kind of appreciate more the days that you do have. If you think about you not being here someday, it just, I don't know, it just makes you more reflective. And like I said, appreciate more the days that you have and the time that you do have your kids. And so what we're hoping to inspire people to really put even more thought and attention and effort and love into how they're raising their kids, because ultimately it's this next generation. They're our future and the future of our country, the future of our world, and we want to inspire folks to do the best job they can with their families. And so that's what I need to whittle that down into more of an elevator pitch,
Okay,
but
but then now
that's
what's your
kind of
call to action? Do your call to action. What's your call to action?
so my call to action. I mean, so ultimately, if you hear this and you have any interest in learning more, my wife and I do occasional webinars where we'll educate people about the different components of the Family Shield system. And if you're interested after you've learned more, you're welcome to get on a 45-minute call with me where we'll take what you learn in the webinar and we'll discuss it related to we'll bring it home and we'll discuss it related to your family situation to see if we can figure out if our Family Shield system is an appropriate way for you to get this taken care of, so that you have all these documents in place, get the provision in place, and to just make sure your family's taken care of. Just one more thing off the plate that you don't have to think about.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Great job, great job.
Thank you.
And
What?
what's your website? What's your website again? Just like everywhere where you can follow
It's
you on social media.
FamilyShieldEstatePlanning.com is my company, FamilyShieldEstatePlanning.com. And we've also got our book, which is WhoWouldRaiseThem.com. WhoWouldRaiseThem.com. It's available on Amazon. It's available everywhere books are sold. So I mean, we primarily sell it through Amazon. We've got print books, we've got Kindle, it's on Audible, but it's also everywhere. You can get it at Walmart.com. You can get it at Barnes and Noble. Any place online that books are available, it's available.
Cool. Beautiful. Great job. Great job. Great job. So
Thank
all you
you.
guys listening, go give them a
Jim, can
call.
I
Get on the marketing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Rome.
can I play devil's advocate
Absolutely.
on your call to action? How
Mhm.
long does this take? Is this months? Is this years? Because it's overwhelming. It's extremely attractive. However, does this take an afternoon? Does this take what kind of a time frame are we talking about?
I think the fastest I've ever put something together with somebody is about a week. I mean, it
Okay.
doesn't. I mean, that's honestly, that is just the couple meetings that it takes. So usually, my interaction with people is I have there's the webinar. They're usually on a webinar for an hour. We have an hour, 45 minutes to an hour long call where we discuss their situation. If they decide to come on board with me, what I do is I've come up with a decision document. And it's 20 pages long. But the reason it's 20 pages long is because a lot of my families have 10 kids. And so in this decision document, I have these tables where you list all of your kids' names and their birth dates and whatever. If you've got one kid or two kids or no kids, it's a significantly shorter document. The longest part of the process is honestly filling out that decision document, and it's figuring out who you would want to be the guardians for your children, who you would want to be
I
your successor trustee to make these decisions for or to distribute your estate and to distribute money to your kids and your guardians after you've passed. Who you want to be your healthcare and financial power of attorney, who you trust in those roles. Um, what were you going to say?
what I was going to say is, do you mention that in your call to action or your initial conversation with somebody that this will only take less than less 5 to 7 days? It's not going to take us three
Good
months
point.
to do this.
Good point.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Usually when I'm talking to people on my webinar, I usually say it can just take a few days. I mean,
Okay.
if you already have all the decisions made, it can take a few hours, honestly.
Okay.
Um, with the people who know what they're doing, I had a guy a few weeks ago, with the guy that we got it done in less than a week. It was a really heartbreaking story. He and his wife had a new baby last November, and her postpartum depression was so bad that she actually took her own life in
Oh
March.
shit.
And
Sorry to
so
hear that.
he is now no, he's now a widower with three kids, including a 8-month-old
A
infant.
brand
You
new
know,
baby.
Hmm.
brand new baby, and he's by himself, and he's working. So
Uh-huh.
he's having to be the breadwinner, and he and his wife were homeschooling, and so now he's trying to manage all of that. But we got that stuff done in less than a week because he was highly motivated.
Right.
With my demographic, usually the people the decisions that take the longest is the guardian. It's like, because you're really thinking, because people really thinking about who you would want to raise your children. I mean, and again, with my homeschooling demographic, it's like people think about it more. Like most families, it's like, yeah, I'll just have grandma and grandpa do it. Just have my parents do it. And in my case, I didn't feel like my parents, and my wife didn't feel like her parents were a good match for who we would want raising our daughter, just because we lead a very different lifestyle, and
Right.
we know that they wouldn't raise her in the way that we're raising her. And so it took us longer to find guardians, and it takes my people longer to find guardians, but they can get that stuff all dialed in. We can get it done really. It can be quick and painless. Honestly, it's just that deciding who you want to handle that guardianship part is
Well,
the.
the only reason I asked was when you gave your pitch and you did a great job. You
Thank
didn't put a
you.
time frame on it.
Right.
Great feedback.
So that I mean that's just something that in the back of my mind, like how long does this take?
Yeah.
Right. Well, if you've got all your decisions made, we can get it done inside of a week. I mean, it's
Well,
really
just
really
make
not.
sure and add that into your call to action. Give a
Okay.
time frame, like within, if in the event this happens to you, if you have your ducks in a row, obviously ducks never get in a row, but you know what I mean.
Right.
We can get it done within hours to days.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yep. Yeah.
Are
I had
you
a
are you in communication, or do you follow Brett Pike at all?
Yeah,
I did.
I follow him, and I have not followed up with him yet. Scott suggested that I reach out to him. Actually, did a warm email introduction for me. He wrote me
Okay.
back, and I wrote him back, and I didn't hear back from him,
Hit him up again.
and
I would highly
I didn't pursue
recommend that you
that.
try and I would highly recommend you try and connect with that guy, because I mean, in the homeschooling world, or the individual, education world, that's, I mean, if that's where you kind of work, your magic, he is he's relentless on
Oh
his
yeah,
mark. And I just throwing it out there. Obviously, you've made tried to make connection, but I'd probably follow up on that.
yeah. Oh, I'm and I think honestly, before I even do that, what I want to do is I want to get things really dialed in on my end in regards to our marketing. Because if you don't mind if I share a
Please.
little bit more about
Please do.
what most of my clients this year have come from a couple homeschool conferences that we did back in May. And
Okay.
the conferences are called Teach Them Diligently. They're Christian homeschool conferences. One was in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. The other in Branson, Missouri. Excellent conferences. Very cool. Loved them. And when you sign up as a vendor there, they automatically give you a spot to speak at one of the conferences because they have all these workshops and everything. So Beth and I spoke at our workshops. I think between the two workshops, we had somewhere between 150 and 200 people that came. And it was fantastic. I mean, our talk was very well received. And then we invited people from the talks, say, okay, well, if you like what you hear and you think you want to come on our webinar to learn more, come to our booth. If you sign up for the webinar, we'll give you a free copy of our book. And we had like 80 people that came and gave us free copies. We gave them free copies of our books. And from that, we had 40 people that signed up for our webinar. From that, we had like 20 some odd people that I've actually brought on. So it was a very good conversion. But um, what we're trying, so we thought we had it dialed in with this audience. We're like, oh man, these homeschool conference people are just great. And we thought we had it so dialed in that it was going to be easy. Like if we were to market to them again, that it would be kind of a slam dunk. And so what we found is the Teach Them Diligently people offer to let you send out an email blast to their whole list. And I know I've talked
Right.
to you guys about this before. They have like 50,000 people on their
Right.
their
Right.
list. Okay. And so we paid their money and they sent the email blast out. And out of the 50,000 emails, 15,000 people opened the email. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Out of the 15,000 people who opened the email, we got 40 who registered for our webinar. We
Okay.
got less than 20 who showed up. And
Okay.
so far, I've made one sale.
Okay.
So that's a
That's
terrible, terrible result.
yeah, that's a
So
brutal out there, dude.
it's a
Like the email camp, dude. I think email marketing's dead, dude. I think it's dead.
yeah.
I don't.
Well, I mean, out of the
I'll just. I'll
15,000
just.
people,
I'll disagree on the email marketing is dead. I think it's just another fishing lure in your
Yeah,
marketing.
yeah. I think
Marketing. Honestly, it's compared to social media and things like that, it's more effective, and it
yeah.
doesn't.
Well,
It doesn't. Anyhow, I didn't mean to cut you off, Jim. Go ahead.
Well, no, I'm owning the bad result, but I'm saying before I even reach out to Brett, for example, and we did something wrong. I mean, obviously, 15,000 people saw our message, and only 30 to 40 of them decided that they wanted to see the webinar. So it's like
Well,
we could have had a
how long is the webinar, if you don't mind me asking?
oh, it was an hour,
Okay.
and
Are
we
you
did it live.
do you have uh, just not looking at the webinar, just trying to comprehend what you're, because it the subject matter you're dealing with is obviously a little bit abrasive. It's not very comfortable. And but
Not
are
selling
you
saunas.
no,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
I wish.
Are you giving examples of um, the other side of the equation? In other words, so and so passed away, and their kids went to the state, and now they're both, both the daughters are swinging on poles at the strip club. You know
Right.
the you know what I mean? Like, the horror stories, because what you're talking about is extremely important, and it's very common that if people don't have things in place when they pass away, that's what happens. Like
Right.
the state takes over all of their assets, and it really, I mean, in your position, as well as I do, it's not doesn't take that long to put that in place to allow your children to not have to deal with that bullshit.
Right.
Or so that's what I'm getting at. Are you showing the horror stories, like?
In our not in the webinar, in our book, we have a section in our book that talks about a few examples of those horror stories. Um, so yeah, I need to see if I could find a way to. So the webinar we primarily use to educate people about the difference between wills and so this is where we're trying to figure out how to transition our marketing from. So the example that we had with the homeschool conferences, we went from having a live audience, a live captive audience. They're like
Yeah,
sitting in the
yeah,
room. They're not going to get
yes.
up and leave. And in that particular presentation, we like really pulled heartstrings. We didn't give, horror stories about, people out there. But I mean,
Right.
I had an incident a few years ago where I went to the ER twice with cardiac symptoms. In my case, it turned out to be a dietary sensitivity that was causing like shortness of breath and all of that. So I'm okay, but for a few weeks there, I was panicked, and so we share that story in some depth in
Uh-huh.
that in our live talk. It's like there was a period of time where holy crap, I thought we were I thought I was, in serious trouble and living
Right.
out here in the middle of nowhere, we're half an hour from the closest hospital. I was spooked, and there have been a couple of times where we've had some really near misses with car accidents, that I'm like, oh,
Uh-huh.
thank goodness that didn't happen. And I mean, shoot, my wife almost got broadsided just the other day. It's like, those are the kinds of stories that we shared in our talk that I think tugged people's heartstrings enough that got them to come to our booth at the live event to get our book, then get on our webinar. Um, but how to grab that attention from email or social media, we haven't crossed that threshold yet, which is why I asked you last week about Trevor. Is that his name, Scott?
Oh yeah, Trevor. Yeah, the ads guy. Yep,
Yep.
100%. Yep, yep, yep.
Yep.
How have you tried doing live events again? I mean, obviously you were put in an environment with a captive audience. Have you tried doing that again?
I haven't yet. That is a plan that I think we're going to be executing soon. We tried to do something here locally a few weeks ago. There was a youth event in town, and my wife and I actually sponsored the youth event, and we had a webinar. We didn't have a live event. We did a live webinar, and unfortunately, the only people that showed up for our webinar were the people who actually hosted the youth event. So we didn't get any of the participants, just the people that created it. But we're looking at doing that probably in the next couple months. You weren't on the beginning of the call, but our big thing for this week is my wife and I just put an offer in on a house this week, and so we're going to be moving within the next month.
Oh,
And
congratulations.
after we get ourselves all moved, I think we're going to be hitting the ground running with our business much more so than we have been.
Okay. And where exactly in the country are you?
I'm in northern Arkansas, right on the Arkansas-Missouri border.
And you mentioned, I think if I remember correctly, you lived in Hawaii at some point.
Yeah, up until 4 years ago, we were in Hawaii for almost 19 years.
Okay. Cool, man.
Stuff.
Um,
Rome, you want to do your pitch? Your cold
my
pitch?
pitch.
I do your cold pitch.
Actually, I need your feedback on something. My pitch is I am a I'm a dude that can help you create and show your trustworthy on the internet with photography and video.
Mhm.
So I
Oh,
help you create trust across digital platforms. Um, but I need your feedback on something. And
Do it.
apparently, this is going to be live. So this is going to be a good case study.
Let's do it.
Um, I've been doing a lot of research on how I can help small and medium sized business owners on the internet because I see a lot of people that have spent money on marketing and tried different things just like everybody else has. And what I've come to determine is I can take a look at what, your digital footprint looks like, and I can try to determine or help you determine how I can help you increase conversions. Like I just did a case study on a business that I found off of Reddit that was having this conversation about they were running paid Google ads, and just doing a screenshot, or I did a screen recording of like their customer or their customer journey.
Yep.
What I determined was like he left a link to his website, like the landing page he was putting in his Google ads. Website's cool, very informative. The only thing that I saw was when you land on the site on either a desktop or a mobile site, you have to scroll down to get to the click to call or text me.
Yep.
All it has, it has the headline, and then obviously you can click through. But in my um, professional opinion, I think that would be cutting down on its conversions.
100%, dude. Dude, yes. I had my mind blown this week with
Uh-huh.
just like a simple statistic along that exact same line. And let me show you something here.
Yeah,
Little things like that that are the biggest levers you can pull. And it's like, yes,
yeah,
pitching them on something like that, just simply, or at least testing it, like, hey, move your button to the top. Let's see if you get any higher conversions, but then track it too, like
yeah.
it's the hard part to get people to do it. And I'm speaking to myself too, but I've got a Claude plugin now that does analysis of my clients' meta ad accounts. I'm running ads for a couple people now, and it's like, so basically plug it in, and it creates like a report that shows the metrics, and then kind of the KPIs, I guess is the term, but then also
Yeah.
what what we can do better, like what the strategy is going forward. And there was one that just absolutely blew my mind. I'm trying to get it pulled up here to screen share with you guys, and I don't know. Okay, I know what I'll do. So hold on. Let me but anyway, but this is just an example of how one tiny little thing can be the biggest difference between life and death. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, so let me take a couple screenshots here. But yeah, dude, like little teeny levers like that are so crucial. So here, let me pull this up here. Oops, let me get up. But so anyway, so you're thinking of like offering a service of auditing people's businesses? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, because
Right.
I'm still chasing this remote thing, and honestly, I think I could be very helpful to people that are already spending money. They're because I put myself in their position. I mean, a marketing company comes along and says, I can get you leads.
Yep.
The business owner doesn't give a shit about how they do it. They just want their
Yep.
phone to ring.
Yep.
And either they have stuff in place, and this is a long answer, I understand. So the answer is yes. That's what I want to try doing, is start just charging a business. I don't know. And that, maybe I should back up. If you're spending maybe 1,000 to 5,000 a month on ads,
Yep.
and it's not working as much as you would like,
Yeah.
would you be willing to invest $150 for me to take a look and see?
100%. And dude, for your
Okay.
purposes, all you do is just do like a Claude plugin and you get a fancy little report that audits their whole damn thing.
Yeah. Well,
nice.
what I do, I actually do a screen recording,
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah. There you
everybody
go.
everybody has a report, and
Yeah.
that's good. But when I send it to a business owner, like their eyes cross and they don't give a fuck. Like
Exactly.
that's you know,
Exactly. Yeah,
yes,
no,
I
no,
can
that's
give you the
true.
details. what I want to do is be able to take a look at what they have existing and give advice on what you can do here, 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 and here, and not overwhelm them because it's a huge. It's honestly it's. I mean, as well as I do, it's an enormous endeavor.
Oh yeah.
But if you can start doing simple things day by day by day, you have kind of a better idea of why or how to make it work better,
Yep.
if that makes sense.
Yep. Yep. Well, let me show you
Yeah.
what I got here. So this is
Yeah. Show
crazy.
me.
So these are just screenshots. So I left the business out. I'm not gonna put them on blast. But basically, this is just pieces of I took three different screenshots of the report here. So the first one just kind of shows us some of the metrics
Is
here.
this a meta ad?
Yep, these are meta ads right here. So this is
Okay.
from that meta ads manager, and then I created a report for to hand to the owner. Be like, here you go. Here's how your ads are performing. So you can see here, the first we've been running a campaign for a little over 3 weeks, 23 days. We've gotten 15 leads, which is
Fuck
pretty good.
yeah.
These are like high ticket, construction leads, and
Good work, man.
so it's basically like, so that's $51 per lead, and they say the industry benchmark is around 45. So we're trying to get those down. But look, I see what lever we need to pull to get that number down. Now we have so we are link clicks. So we're at 64
Uh-huh.
cents a link click, where the industry average is $2.45. So that means the creative is crushing. People are willing to click on it, which is that tells that's kudos to me for making awesome ads. So I'm very
Woo.
happy about
Fuck
that.
yeah. Good work.
Yep. But see, here's where it gets crazy. Watch this. And this is where looking at the data and using the data to tell you what's going on with your ads is so incredibly important. So link clicks, I've had 449 people click on the link, but we only have 309 landing page views, which means that 30% of the people that click on the ad is taking or the landing page is taking too long to load. So it's taking like
Oh, no
maybe
shit.
maybe like 1 second or 3/4 of a second to load. And we've
Uh-huh.
all been there where you click on something and it doesn't load right away. You just swipe out. We are
Yep.
losing 30% of the prospective clients because the landing page is taking too long to load. So the goal is
Interesting.
to go back and compress everything, and it has to be instantaneous. So a
Yeah.
landing page load time, literally, if you think about it like this. So right here it says 15. So we had 15 leads. Had the landing page loaded instantly, we would have gotten 22 leads. And so that's 7 leads we missed out on because the damn thing wouldn't load properly, which could be millions of dollars in this industry
Yeah.
with
Where
the
are you hosting the landing pages?
it's on Go High Level. It's a Go High Level, but it was
Okay.
built. It was built by Claude, so we have to go audit the page. We have to compress the images, any redirect link, anything on there. We have to like completely compress it to
Is
where
it video? Is it video content?
no, there's no video content on the ad itself. It's
It's
just
all image,
yeah,
image and graphics.
it's basically just the
Do you
link.
know what Go High Level's servers are like?
I don't know. We're gonna audit. That's gonna be our goal this week is to crush.
Yeah, check that out. My wife's a web designer,
Yeah,
and a few years ago, she moved all of her clients to WordPress engine,
gotcha. Okay.
and their hosting is phenomenal, and all of their storage is solid state.
Yep.
And so it's like boom, boom, boom. That's
Okay.
yeah. She
Well,
was
we're
having issues with her load times too, and
that
that made a huge difference.
Yeah, and I've heard people talk about landing page load times, and I'm always like, whatever. But when you see it like in black and white here, like this is how much you're
You're like,
leaking. Like
oh,
this is a huge issue, and I'm like, oh my God, and it's like it's so fascinating to think of it in those terms. It's like people. We always talk about people's attention spans. Like you see it right there. There's the data right there. People literally will not wait more than like half a second for something to load. Like they literally won't. It's like it's so crazy to think of it in those terms, but that is it, dude. That is business right there, dude. It's so trippy.
so you got this down to $50 a lead?
Ah, dude, we're at $50 a lead right now, and he says that they're pretty good quality leads. They're pretty
That's
good quality leads.
badass.
Yeah,
Good work,
they're
bro.
not like tire kickers or junk leads. Like we don't have a whole lot of friction on the ads. It's basically takes you to a landing page with an opt-in, enter your email, all
Uh-huh.
that crap. But it's like, it's a nice landing page, robust landing page that walks them through the whole customer journey and testimonials and all this stuff. And so the people coming in the door from the meta leads are good. The only thing is that um so here's something that I learned. So this company is a little bit outside of the Nashville area, about an hour from Nashville,
Uh-huh.
and they're looking to get like new construction, like new home built, like people that are looking to build a new home, basically. That's
Right.
a lot of what the ads are geared towards. we ran the ads in the Nashville area because in my mind I was like, oh, we could get some people who maybe live in the city. It's kind of funny that we were talking about this earlier, Jim. So part of what we want to eventually do is target people that live in Nashville that are looking to get out of the city and build a home like out in the country. So there would be the perfect builders for that use case. What happened is we are running the ads in the Nashville area, but in the ads themselves, I we did not build that angle into the ad. So we're not specifically talking to, we didn't say in the ads, hey, are you a Nashville resident? You're looking to move out to the city. So what we did is we tightened up the radius. So to get it out of the, because the one issue we were having is getting people in Nashville like coming in as leads, but they're not looking to build down in their area. They're like, oh, no, 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 we want to build it.
Yeah.
So we would have to have a specific campaign specifically talking in that language of like, if you live in Nashville and you're looking to build outside in the country, hey, this would be a beautiful place to build, that type of thing. So we t- we ran the geolocation for a campaign like that without doing the language in that. We didn't do like the audience targeting in the ad itself that would necessitate that type of lead. So anyway, so we're tightening up the radius. So that was our strategy this week. We're tightening up the geolocation radius, and we're going to work on the landing page situation, and hopefully
How
that'll.
long have you been running this?
So these guys, we've been working for them. Well, we started working for a little over a month ago, and we got the ads up in like less than 2 weeks, about 10 days, and then so that this campaign's been going for 23 days, 24
And
days,
they got 5 leads.
15,
15. Good work,
15 leads,
bro.
15 leads.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Good
Yeah.
work.
So once we start closing a couple of them, then I can get a screenshot that says, yeah. And especially if it's like a new house. Can you imagine the return on ad spend on a house?
Well, okay,
That's
that's the
awesome.
next question. Like, what is, have they closed any? Like,
Not yet.
what's the hang up there? Are
Nope,
they
not yet.
like
That's
contacting them in time or
well, let me tell you about this. So this is a very interesting new development that I'm doing. So basically, um, and I'm sure you've had this experience, and this is probably something that companies need an
uh-huh,
insane amount of help with is closing. So this particular company, um, they they have a website and they have leads on the
uh-huh,
website as well coming in, and we're doing a whole like they're getting the full meal deal with me. They're getting a full social media campaign. We're posting almost every single day. We're
uh-huh.
running ads, so it's all happening in parallel. And they're getting leads everywhere. Like just the volume of interest and just things coming in their direction has increased so exponentially just because of all of the public facing stuff we're putting out there. Um,
Is this your carpenter?
no, no,
Your
no, it's a different. I don't want to talk about who it is necessarily, but
okay.
it's like yeah,
No worries.
I'm
All
trying
right.
to like keep it. Yeah, yeah. But basically, so what I did is we did kind of audited a few different means in which they have contact information out there, and I realized
Uh-huh.
that they and I talked to two of the owners this last week, and I'm like, you guys, we have to. This is like 911 level emergency. So
Uh-huh.
basically, one of the owners said that he logged into the website and saw 7 leads sitting there, and I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. What does that mean? Logged in and saw them sitting there. Like you're not getting notified when a lead comes in. And I'm just like, bro. So anyway, we did a full audit and as of a conversation yesterday, it ended where I offered, I said, what do you guys can you get a dedicated person to handle leads coming in? I explained to him the idea of like the appointment setter and the closer, right? You have the setter that just qualifies the
Yeah,
customer, sees if they're a good fit, then you pitch them to the closer and in the
right.
construction world, that would be maybe like a setter and then somebody who can go out and do an estimate. And then you have like whatever your sales process after that. But right now, what's broken is the setter step. Like we don't have a way to go from a lead to even qualifying a lot of these people. So basically, I offered to step in that role because I have a little bit of bandwidth for this in this moment right now. And I also want to kind of just it's something that I want to test to see what I can do with it. Basically, I said, let me be your setter. I will do all of the inbound qualification as part of my service. And we negotiated basically a commission.
Uh-huh.
So I've got a
Nice.
commission arrangement built into, and I said, let me take it all because right now, like the phone number leads are going to the owner's cell phone. I'm like, dude, that's so below your pay grade. You cannot be doing like qualification sales calls from new leads. Like you can't.
To
That's
the owner?
not at all. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, let me do it. give me a shot. And he's like, all right, cool. So we ordered it. We got a new phone number because he got his business Verizon thing. Ordered a new phone number. So that's gonna be the dedicated phone. Everything's gonna go right through that phone. Go
The
hide
bat
all the
phone.
phone numbers. Yeah, basically the bat phone, and I'm gonna be in charge of it.
Uh-huh.
I'm just gonna start. Basically, I told him like I just want to hand you jobs that are ready to hand you money. Like that's my goal. And I feel like there's so much opportunity.
Since you made that change, have you gotten calls?
Well, we ordered the phone yesterday, and I'm gonna go pick it up on
Okay.
Monday.
That was yesterday. Okay.
There's a
So
brand new thing. So it's like, so I'm curious to see how it goes. I want to see if this is something that I want to take it on myself and see if it's something I can facilitate. And if that can then be part of a future offer, of course, that's going to be the premium plus exclusive offer because
uh
I'm going to need to hire people at that point. But I feel like
uh
that's a huge service to a company. It's like if you want not only us generating leads, but pre-qualifying and handing you ready to buy customers, like that is so valuable. So it's like, so it's
very
like,
motivated leads.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that that may be something I bundle and wrap into the offer. But then at that point, I'm definitely hiring people, and it has to be American-based people because they can't. I'm sorry, but they have to speak very, very fluent native English. So that's just how it goes. So unfortunately,
Yes, I understand.
yep.
Totally.
So I'm not outsourcing that part. But anyway, so anyway, so that's
Okay, well, back to our conversation on the whole customer experience. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
yeah,
Like you can have the best marketing, you can be getting leads,
yeah,
but if you're not communicating with them within 5 minutes,
or less.
that that shuts down that whole customer experience.
Yep, 100%. 100%. And even something as simple as like an automation, some sort of automated outreach, like a text, hey, we got your lead. We'll contact you in just a few minutes. Like,
I
what do you
I
think?
am I'm torn on that, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think what there's uh, Lickalicious, or there's an AI bot that my buddy uses that owns a he's another videographer here in the valley. Um, I'll text him or send him a message on Instagram,
Yeah.
and it gets the auto response,
Oh yeah,
but
yeah.
I never get an actual response.
Yeah, yeah. So
You
that's
know what I mean?
yeah, well, that's on him, dude. I think it's useful
Yeah.
and powerful if it's useful and powerful if I'm thinking more in automation in terms of like a new lead comes in, then
Uh-huh.
that triggers an automated text sent right to them that basically says, "Hey, we just got your lead. Thank you so much. We'll be right with you. We'll be in touch with you ASAP."
Well, no.
Just
Okay, so
that first
me,
point of
like,
contact is all I'm really concerned about.
from and you are absolutely right. It is on him. My From my point of view, from a customer
Yeah.
journey, I get the dopamine hit that the minute I send a text, I get a response.
Yep.
Hey, he acknowledged. However, now a week later, now I'm pissed because there's no
Exactly.
actual
Oh
response.
yeah. Well, if you're not following up and you don't have a system to follow up with,
Right.
like after an automation, then that's you're not doing a good job. Like, because if in your mind you're offloading, I think it might be just a mental barrier on his end because in his mind he's delegated that responsibility out, but he doesn't realize that. And it is interesting because like there's a lot of people that I will message on Instagram like with legitimate like stuff, and they don't check their DMs on there. It's like that tells me you need my help.
Yeah.
The fact that you did not check this, you did not even see the
Or it's going
message.
into the back room of the DMs of Instagram, and if you
Yeah.
don't know where to go look,
Yeah, the
then
message
you'll never
requests.
see.
Yeah.
Um, but what I was getting at, what the fuck was I going with that? The instantaneous response, the automation.
Yeah.
It's the tools are there, but like you said, you got to be on top of it to
100%.
double down on the actual response.
Oh yeah, yeah. I would only encourage you to use automations and stuff like that if you have the means to go follow up ASAP. But yeah,
So I'm interested to hear the 7 leads that were in his when he logged in. Did he
I
follow up
know.
with that?
Well, no, I mean, I think he said he delegated them out to their project managers, and doesn't. He said it would be worth calling them all again and asking if anybody got in touch with them. And I'm like, okay, so that'll be my first order of business. So
Yeah.
yeah, So it's very
Well,
interesting.
good work, by the way. That's badass.
Yep. So again, it's about finding problems that people have and then finding solutions to them and getting paid to do it. So I know that I'm taking on a lot by volunteering to do that, but it's like I want to do it because I want to figure it out. I want to see, I want to figure it out like for myself, and then I can build systems or figure out what needs to be done and how that can be delegated or structured or systematized. But I have to figure it out myself first, and then that's the plan. Go from there.
Yeah. No, I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Like you really, really want to know, boots on the ground, your version of what's happening through the customer journey
Yep.
so that you can be qualified to talk about how you can help these
Yep.
businesses.
Yep. And I'll
Because
tell you
back
this,
to,
and I'll tell
go,
you
go
this
ahead.
too. I'll tell you this too. It's like the volume of people that are coming in and expressing interest. It's like these accounts that they have aren't very big at all, but
Uh-huh.
it's like just a matter of putting out content consistently, like almost every single day. Like the you can feel like it's like an energetic lift of just like things that are coming back to them. Whether it's
Uh-huh.
phone ringing, email, comments, like just awareness, like on a local level, like they talk about
Yeah.
they're like people locally like recognize them, uh, because they're in like a smaller community, and it's like just even if you have like their Instagram accounts like under 200 people, trying to do something about that, but it's like even still, you don't have to have a huge account to have
Well,
massive impact in
a
return.
small community, you can fucking rock that
Exactly.
place really, really quickly, especially with small communities.
Yep. And it's really funny too, because like they were telling me how like one of the angles we did in our marketing was the fact that because they do a lot of like utility work. Like if there's a new subdivision, they get called in to do all the utilities, like the electrical, plumbing,
Uh-huh.
like actual like insane amounts of work. And they're spending like probably millions and millions and millions of dollars at these building supply companies just doing all their
Right.
utility work. And he said
Right.
because they buy so much volume, they get a discount. And they pass that
Uh-huh.
discount on to, like, let's say we're building a home for a homeowner, we get material discounts and we pass that savings on to you. We don't absorb it, you know what I mean? And so that's one of the biggest angles we're taking on the ad campaigns, is that because of our volume, we're able to pass that savings on to Joe the homeowner, right? So one of the local other construction companies who apparently has the same account with the same builder, they told me that there was drama because this dude got pissed and got all up in their faces saying like, "Yo, what the hell? You giving them discounts?" And the guy was like, "Bro, you get the same discount. Why are you getting mad at us?" And he's like, well, they're out there on the internet saying, he's like, "You have the internet, don't you? You could get on there and say the damn same ass thing too." And so he's getting all mad at them because of our campaign is crushing so hard. It's like,
Funny.
you have the internet too, right? Come
Yeah.
on. It's hilarious.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's freaking
Yeah.
awesome.
But like we're causing drama amongst all the builders down there because we're crushing it. That's the other thing I was gonna say too, dude. I had a thought and a tweet this week, and maybe we'll
Uh-huh.
wrap it up here unless you guys have any other pressing things. And it's like I don't know if I'm becoming like a contrarian or whatever it is, but it's like,
Uh-huh.
and I am joking about a lot of that stuff. Like a lot of stuff I say on Grand Theft World, I'm like, build more data centers. I need faster AI. So it's kind of a joke. It's kind of a joke, but
Right.
then this is the other observation I had, which I thought was pretty funny, and it's like, dude, I want to. Like John Rockefeller, of course, one of the most evil people in the world. But it's like, dude, he was
Yeah.
an innovator, dude. Like, it's like he built the first monopoly. It's the first time in human civilization where somebody built a company so big and powerful that the government was like, uh, like they were just befuddled. They didn't know what to do. They're like, dude, you're crushing so hard, John. We have to make like an entire new like legal code to stop you. Like this is insane. So it's anyway. My whole point was like, I want to crush so hard that the government has to like invent new legal codes to stop me, dude. Like that's what I'm saying. I
Nice.
want to be like John D. Rockefeller in that regard. So that's the
Do
mentality.
it.
It's just like
Do it.
I just crush so hard that they're just like, what do we even do? We have to like make this illegal, I guess. Like this is crazy. That's what I'm saying. So
Do it. That's awesome.
Awesome.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
So that's it, guys. So let's do it. Let's do it. You guys good?
Good.
Yeah, I think
All
so.
right, cool. Awesome. Well, good meeting.
Yeah, before we go, hey Jim, I think last
Yeah.
week you had mentioned that you had one more lead in your one more lead in your lead bucket. How are things for you?
That I talked about that a little bit before you came on. That lead was a very nice lady who was not necessarily qualified because her husband wasn't on the call and her husband hadn't seen my webinar, and she's
Okay,
just
that
barely
that
talked to her husband about her desire to do all of this. And so I gave her the homework of trying to expose him to some of this information and to for us to circle back in a month to see if
do you
he's more
what is
on board.
what's your website? Because I'm gonna do. Do you mind if I use you as a guinea pig on my
I would
strategy
love
I'm
for you
trying
to
to
use
do?
me.
Do it.
Okay,
Absolutely. Yeah,
Do
yeah.
it.
So we've got Family
what
Shield.
is your website?
So we've got two. We've got Family Shield Estate Planning.com is my company
Wow.
website, and then
Okay.
we've got whowouldraisethem.com is
Cool.
the website for our book.
Okay. And I
And
can
I think
find
what
all
you're
your
doing is
contact
really
details on there.
Yeah, I think what you're doing is really, really valuable. I was going to share earlier that last year I was doing some work for another estate planning company on the East Coast. They were gathering so many leads, they couldn't handle all of them. They were sending leads to me to do sales calls with. And I
Uh-huh.
had two sales that I had closed and
Uh-huh.
they asked for refunds after the fact. The first time they found the company's Facebook page, and
Uh-huh.
they had done a bad job. Like so, there was some question that the people had, and they never got back to them. They never answered their question, and so they left this really horrible, scathing review on Facebook that was like a comment on their company page, and they
Uh-huh.
never addressed it. They never deleted it. So I lost a sale there, and then
Mm.
they'd screwed up somewhere else. And the people had left a really negative comment on the Better Business Bureau webpage. And then I
Oh
lost a sale
wow.
because of that. People like after the fact, we'd already closed, they'd already paid for the thing, and they're like, "Oh, I just found these horrible reviews online. I want my money back." And I'm like, I was
Wow.
mad. I went to the company. I'm like, "Clean up your stuff." I'm like, "I worked really hard to close these sales, and they went on and they found something that you should have taken care of 2 years ago that killed it." So I think what you're doing is really smart.
That's awesome.
Okay. I will take a look and I'm gonna run through what I'm observing from what you're doing, and I'll send you a recommendation on if there's anything I can, point out that I'd recommend to be doing differently.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure.
In Rome, clip those and make those content too, dude. Like your little audits, like make that content.
That's the point.
Good,
That's
good, good, good.
totally
Yeah.
the point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, after you've got the after you've got your audits or whatever, I mean, if you want to get on a Zoom call and like walk me through that and use
There
that
you
as
go. Use
content,
that
I'm
I'd
totally
be happy
down
to,
for
and
that.
that's kind of my point. Am I able to find your contact details to send you a Zoom link?
Sure. Yeah. Well, I'm there in school in the
Yeah, you
school
send them.
community.
That's
Just message
cool
me.
for me too. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Then I will be in contact shortly
Cool.
for sure.
Very
All right.
good. Well,
Look at
thanks,
that.
guys.
Great
Appreciate
job,
it.
guys. Yeah. So you guys, if you're watching on YouTube or anywhere else, please get or listen on the podcast. Come join us every Saturday morning. Is free, and you can get your business audited. You can do pitches. You like it's a very valuable tool and thing we get to do here. So come join
And
us.
it's fun.
It's
It's a lot
fun.
of fun.
It's a lot of fun, guys. So just get to bro out about business, which I love, dude. So all right, guys. Much love. Thank you both very much, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Rock and
Peace.
roll.